Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome, episode 3, this, that, and the third. Happy to be back. I've been on the road doing a ton of traveling. Had an awesome retreat that I went to that was really impactful. Share some details and insights on that one as we go along, too. But one thing about it, as you have woke up, is a day to be grateful, a day to say, hey, we here. We're going to make the best of it. Continue to push forward, man. 100%. Just get back in the studio, man. I feel good. Got a ton of remodeling stuff that's going to be going on around me. So, but hey, man, we going to freaking hop into it. We'll probably have some guests and stuff arriving through, some little surprise guests popping on with y'all. So, I'll keep y'all updated as they come if they pop into the live stream. But the thing I want to always express, hey, we're just coming off of an election too. So one thing about it, we got someone lost who you was voting for, someone won who the other was voting for, who however that may go. I think the most important thing is to always remember that, hey, move forward. No matter what, who are inside of that uh, building on the hill, it's up to you to continually push forward. And don't worry about all the other stuff. That's just a part of all the noise. So continue to look at it like that, man. And I feel truly you'll be 100% okay. So what I wanted to touch on today, man, is basically coming off of that and truly looking at like, hey, we all got a part to play in all of this. You know, we got a part to play in what we do with our success, how we handle all situations. Don't be looking to anybody to come and save you. Like 100% continue to push forward accordingly to what you have in file. So I'm gonna bring up my guest, man. My man, he is a giant. 100%. I look at him as a giant within this in this space of real estate. Been doing it for quite a while. Part of my story is coming from his story. So I'm bring up a man. They call him the Doru because he's not a guru. He definitely get to it in the business, man. Guru.
What's going on, baby?
What's up, man?
All right,
Great
all
to
right,
see
all
you,
right.
brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, trying to give the people a little insight of who you are and the influential man. One thing about it is that I do want to express my gratitude 100%. As I stated a little bit just a second ago, when I was getting started in all of this, one of the videos that popped up was yours. You know,
That's crazy.
yeah, and you was going through apartments in it was a rental in Charlotte actually. So I said, oh man, he right here. So for us, for a lot of times, say for me, it's good to see an example. It's like I had the vision. I know where I want to go. I know the things I want to acquire. But to see someone, oh shoot, he right here, like I can touch him. Who he look like me, or I can do it too. That was super important to me. You know what I mean? To see that and to see what you was doing. And I can say you have been your authentic self the entire time, 100%. From the time I seen you to the time I met you, man. So I do wanna. I gotta start off with that, man. Just saying appreciate you for everything you done just within this whole industry, as well as what the community is, man. You're a stand up for sure.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, bro. Listen, and I don't take that lightly, man. But I get a lot of these, a lot of young folks, man. They'll see me out, meet me, say, yo, I got started with your stuff. And, I,
Yeah.
and they're doing gigantic things, people of
Mm-hmm.
all colors. They're doing some gigantic stuff out there now. I'm like, yo, bro, that's what it was for. I'm glad you used it for the right thing. One dude told me, he said, bro, I got fired from my job. But before getting fired from my job, I used to always look at your videos on YouTube. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, yo, he said, I hated my job. And then from seeing you, he was like, man, I'm gonna go out here and do it myself. And he's extremely he probably builds like 20, 30 houses a year minimum.
Wow.
So yeah, man, I'm glad I can be an example to people. I've been on YouTube since 2012, and I remember my early days. I used to get emails like, "Yo, I ain't know a black dude in North Carolina can buy houses and
Yeah.
own them. I ain't know that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't really a big deal to me. I was just like, yo, I just ain't want no job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah,
want my
absolutely.
life. I'm like, man, I just don't want no job. So I'm gonna make it happen. But just like I was an example for y'all, it was somebody who was an example for me that made me say, yo, I got to get into real estate. And that person looked like me, and that person had things that I wanted at that time. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what really made me get into real estate. So, yes, representation matters. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%, man. I tell this story often in terms of where I started that Breakfast Club interview with a guy. He was talking about wholesaling, and this whole time I thought the bandit sign was, "Hey, these are real people coming through the neighborhood building houses." That's how it's a person trying to get into it, and then it's like, "Oh man, this is just a wholesaler, so I can do this too and make this quick 10,000." Oh, it was over. And then went to you to send the acquisition part. That was my whole thing. So kudos to that, man. 100%. In terms of your journey, man, I know where you at today. Like, um, in terms of like education. I see you as an impactor, one who definitely educates and impact the community. Has done tons of stuff, consistently does the business. I think 100% why you call yourself the Doru, because there's a lot of people that can teach it. Like I can learn something in a week and then turn into somebody who is an expert. But it's a different one to actually doing it. What was the influences like just to say, hey, this is what I'm gonna get into? Who was the I know it started like I want to get deep because I know a part of the story too. You know what I mean in terms of your heritage, your parentage. Excuse me, when it comes to all of that, man. I think that's important too, just from just a part of that journey.
All right. So, what made me say I wanted to get into this? I wanted to do real estate. And I was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Overheard the people that's listening to put this in perspective. Today I am 41. So we talking 20 plus years ago. Um, People in my neighborhood, they were I'm sorry, my neighbors next door.
Mm-hmm.
I heard my father talking to his friend. He said, yo, our neighbor sold the house for 150, put 20,000 into it. I'm sorry, a neighbor sold the house to an investor. The investor put 20,000 into it and sold it for 270. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what? Hey, I'm 19, so I'm like, wait, hold on. This investor made 100K.
Right.
So me being 19 years old, what's the first thing I do? First thing I do is ask somebody how to get in real estate who don't do real estate, which was my father. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, go over here, fix your credit and buy a house, whatever. And I did follow that advice. But one day I'm sitting out on the porch and the investor who bought the house pulls up whatever year that was, 20 something years ago. He
Mm-hmm.
had the Range Rover of that year. Now,
Yeah.
to some of you young people listening, like back in the day, like the Range Rover was the joint. Like you was different. You had that in the early 2000s.
Hundred
Um,
percent.
yeah, so they had the Range Rover, and then he had the model girlfriend hop out there, and I'm like, whoa. I said, yeah, this is it. I got to. I gotta do this. Whatever it is he does, I do it. And like you said, the person looked like me, so it was like, oh, where I could do this. I could be this. Okay, I can make this kind of money. So that's how it started with me wanting to get into real estate.
Man, so just to send someone 19 saying, "Hey, this is So if people don't know what them ranges is, what it did represent was a whole nother movement. If you didn't have a 4.6, you act like you wasn't doing that. If you didn't roll in that 4.6, it's like, nah, just keep it on the lot. You're gonna get clowned a lot. So that was huge, and just to see like, hey, it's something attainable rather than doing a lot of things that's coming from the urban environments. A lot of things out our front door is a lot of negativity, and a
Correct.
lot of times of what we get involved with based off of those toys that we see, and this is how they acquire them. So just for you to jump head in with like, hey, seeing that example and jumping into it was good too. And when it comes like to your parents and saying that that's a lot of like history. I look too. You know, I see your post where you. I learned that just from your post, not even like a personal conversation from you. Just seeing like, hey, these persons walk with or was with Malcolm X, with Martin, and all of the things like that. That's huge too. You know, just to have that like, hey, this is where we come from, and a part of what your family was a part of to where you are now. That's something I think is definitely should be expressed as well.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I got like a big following on Instagram. Facebook is getting up there too. I think I'm at like 36,000 followers on Facebook, and I got
Mm-hmm.
like 146,000 followers on Instagram. Real estate Doru, that's Doru. So I'm not a guru, I'm a Doru because I actually do this business. So real estate Doru, but yeah, so my grandfather, the person I grew up calling grandpa, he buried Malcolm X. He
Mm-hmm.
buried Malcolm X. And right, and at that time in that climate when Malcolm passed, a lot of us we read books on history, but we still can't imagine what actually happened. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
way worse than the books. Like the books is like the general version. It's a reason why certain political figures want to take that stuff out of the take it out of the school system. But anyway, in that climate when Malcolm passed, it wasn't just like, oh, another black person died. Nah, the climate, nobody knew where that hit came from at the time. They ain't know
Mm-hmm.
if that hit came from the nation. They ain't know if that hit came from the government. They don't know if that hit came from the KKK. They don't know if that hit came from the police at that time. They had no clue. So a lot of people were scared to do that burial because it was like a unwritten warning, like, yo, whoever do that burial, we be on you.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandfather stepped up, Hisham Jabber. If you Google, I buried Malcolm X. I said that's the guy I grew up calling grandpa. He took my father in as a teenager and all that. So I used to grew up calling him grandpa Hisham, but and he turned my father Muslim actually. But anyway, he buried Malcolm X, and at that time, my mom she used to march when Martin used to get the marches together. To put this in perspective, right? My father was born in 1950, mother born in 1948. So when we talk about this, we talking one generation up. We
Mm-hmm.
ain't talking my great grandparents, oh, all this, and my great grandparents came from Ireland and work hard. No, 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 no. No. We going one generation up where government had laws in place to specifically oppress one group of people financially um, and all other ways you can think of. Okay, so therefore, and Martin, and I love to see the young people doing their thing in life these days. But please keep in mind, prior to you, man, people had to make great sacrifices. Martin
Mm-hmm.
Luther King and all them people, they was like 20 years old, eh, leading all that. You know what I mean? Putting that together. They were young. They weren't 30s, 40s, 50s. No, they were young people putting that together and doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's my man name, man? I want to say Fred Hampton, man. He died. He was killed at like 24. Like he
Mm-hmm.
was young, gathering people together, putting them together, and saying, "Yo, man, we're gonna fight against this institution." And the thing that scared the elites the most about Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton was a Black Panther leader, but he was putting all people together. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
say just black people. Nah,
Right.
he was putting everybody together. Like, yo, y'all poor and white. They look at y'all this almost. They treat y'all the same way as us. That's why I live in this neighborhood. And y'all ain't doing well. Y'all need to come here. We gonna form. We gonna get this together, and we gonna go change some things. And you know, uh, the it the Chicago police killed him. The CIA had to settle a lawsuit with MLK family. Um, it came out in recent years that with Malcolm's death, that the CIA, FBI, NYPD all had their hands in on his death. So, you know. It's yeah, but that history and all that, man. I have family members that took place in that, to make this country a better place. So therefore, it's kind of in my blood to be able to take action, etc., and get things done.
Yeah, and you can see it within your messaging. Even when you're going through like, yo, I'm here in I'm in the hood, but this is what's happening right now. You stand true to like, hey, I'm right here, so take advantage while you're right here. Like, look what decided you, and rather just the one that's letting it happen, you be the ones
Correct.
that make it happen. 100%. So that gives some insight. It makes sense now. You know what I mean? Like why you're so passionate and sticking to that vein. And then the inclusion, that's important too. You know what I mean? You just don't educate our community. It's everybody that gravitates towards you. That's super huge to me. You know, in terms of what you looking to do, like now, I know you more so are educating. You definitely still buying houses. I try to get some type of insight to educating the public when I'm on here, basically too. How what the getting the leads and deals that you're doing. What does that kind of your flow look like?
Oh, today. So I just changed it a few months ago, bro. What I'm doing is I'm doing lead coming in. So I'm doing like oh my god, what's the correct word?
Is it PPL or just
I'm doing PBL,
referral?
but I'm inbound markets. I'm getting
Yeah,
inbound
inbound
marketing
leads.
calls,
Yeah,
bro, which is oh my god, a lot more simpler, bro.
yeah.
Bro, all right. At one point, I was spending 20K a month in just direct mail at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So we talking about $240,000 a year in just marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was working until it stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2018, we got rid of that and started texting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, we started cold calling. Then what happened? This is great until it stopped working.
Right. Right.
So, which that window was very short with all the regulations coming through because yeah, real estate investors flooded that place, but you had other people who flooded that same place for marketing with the texting and the cold calling, and it got regulated real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, now the response rates are not like they once were. Does it still work? Absolutely. Mail still works. There's still texting cold calling still works, but I'm doing more PPL stuff, man. And those those man, it just remind me of those motivated sell leads that came in with mail back in the day. You send out the market and they call in, they just be ready to go. They lay down like, yo, look,
Right.
take this house, give me 20K, it's yours. You be like, what the hell? Like it
Right.
just remind me of the good days. So this is some good stuff right here. So I'm doing PPL. From PPL, it goes into the CRM. For those who are listening, PPL is pay per lead. Pay
Mm-hmm.
per lead. You also have PPC, pay per click. You do PPC when you actually go to the company, the third party company, and you're paying them directly to run a campaign for you, either Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. All right,
Mm-hmm.
that's PPC, and you're paying that person, or you're doing it in house. Over the years, I've been testing this out, bro, since probably since 2018. I can never find a PPC person to um, live up to their claims. Let's say that. I can never find nobody live up. Everybody talk up a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, bro, Chad, they all say, "Oh, I got you. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna do that." You man, you hire them, and then it's like, "Yo, what's up, man? The lead, la la." So
Yeah.
I talked to some friends. They was like, "Yo, bro, you gotta get this PPL." Like, huh? PPL, and that was a game changer. So once the lead comes in PPL, then it goes into your CRM. For those who are new, my personal advice: I wouldn't start off this way with this because you're paying for a lead, and being that you're paying for a lead, you definitely need the CRM already in place, and your CRM need to have automations. What is a CRM? Customer relationship management software.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it manages on your lead, because with these leads you gotta Because sometimes, man, they might fill out a form. They'll fill out two, three forms the first day. Whoever calls back first may or may not get them, but man, it may take 2, 3 weeks for them to pick up the phone for you. And you
Mm-hmm.
need to have a system that's hitting them. And with that system hitting them, um, you might get them to respond through there. So, but these are really good leads, and that's the way it goes. So from the PPL to the CRM. Once it's in the CRM, me or one of my guys will work it until until we try to close it. But this it hasn't been this simple in a while, bro. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. This
Yeah.
hasn't been this simple, and you got to play with some real money. At least at minimum, you want to drop 4K a month at minimum, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is you doing it in house or using it as a private company for it? Cause
Private
some,
private company.
yeah,
I'm not doing the house. I'm doing private company. Yeah, I can't find nobody that can run the campaign good.
yeah, yeah. Some of what I've run into too, just showing people was the integrity factor. You'll see, like they base everyone calls on the same leads, like essentially, unless you're running like a certain campaigns with websites and all that thing, because that's basically what PPL companies is. They basically saying, "Hey, I have a website. Would you looking to sell?" And then the seller sees it. It's micro targeting them, and they see it, clicks on it, fill out the information, then they sell it, the lead to you, whoever is signed up with their service. What I've seen is that yes, they do that. That call on the lead, it's not really a lead. So they send it over and try to sell it. And a couple companies got called out for that. I'm not gonna go through the line of them, but that's something I found. So it's dope when you find those who doing what they say they should do. 100%. Cause that's basically like a just this week is either what I call JV acquisition people. Basically, it's not a part of my team, but they will go out and they do all their marketing. They got leads that come to them, and they're sending to me to close or buy or whatever. And it's just same premise, but not like the CRM setup. So that's definitely like the way to go, 100%. And you basically to now keeping them, or what your team look like? Yes, just your
All right,
few of the
so
people
what
inside.
as far as that, man. So yeah, I downsides a lot, bro. I have right now we're doing a small operation, the wholesale side. I'm
Mm-hmm.
building houses, and I got my rental portfolio. Like, man, I still got that house I got from you in Concord.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah,
duplex.
that duplex, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I still got that one, but I got a rental portfolio I built up over the years, and as you know, the education, and I'm building houses right now, trying to stay away from renovations, trying to stay away from that. But you know, that's what I got going on.
Yeah, ground up is kind of I've noticed it kind of streamlined. You can basically say, hey, this is how many screws, nails, etc. Gonna go into it as opposed to like a deep rehab. All of this stuff keep popping up. Like you get into it like, oh, this wall has issues, termite here, and all of this stuff. So yeah, it does definitely make sense.
Man, my few last renovations kicked my butt. I'm talking about guys. When I say kick my butt, I'm talking about we going in there like, all right, I'm gonna do everything in this house. I'll probably be like 70. Man, you out of that house no less than 88.
Right, right.
28K in surprises. Because what
Mm-hmm.
happens is you fixing stuff that like, yo, if you're looking at this verb, like the floors are got I don't know if you ever been into a house, you know, uh older houses you see this where the floors are unleveled.
Mm-hmm.
Just it could be foundation, it just could be selling, but you got to figure that out to correct it. While the floors are up and down, especially if they got soft spots, that ain't gonna fly with no end buyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna scare them away.
Right.
Because if they think foundation, your end buyer is gone. You are not gonna get what you think you're gonna want. So you try to correct these issues on the front end. In a lot of older houses, I take them down to the studs. We're gonna update everything. I want to do it the right way because I learned the hard way that if that stuff get calls out during the inspection, um, during the buyer's inspection, man, you're gonna have to rip apart new stuff to correct it.
Mm-hmm. So it's easy, basically like a ground up without tearing everything down,
There
where you
you
can
go.
just see it.
There you go. So yeah, man. And my last few houses, man, found we ripping up like, all right, we gonna correct this floor to level the floor.
Hmm.
And boom, rip it up, and it's a mess under there. Just like you said, termites, um, pillars are broken, etc. Like it's real foundation issues that have to get corrected. That I would never. And then it's like, yo, I that's gonna cost me 15,000. And then you got 13K miscellaneous.
Hmm.
Like, yo, I didn't know I had to update all the wiring. I didn't want to do that. It's a mess. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of just your real estate, you lending to people too. I can send some people to you, or you got something on that side. I know you got the education. I'm definitely going to have you speak about that as well.
Yeah, I got Flash. I mean, if they need some transactional funding money, they can go to flashclosing.com,
Mm.
flashclosing.com. I have a partnership with that company, but if you go to flashclosing.com, if for transactional funding. So if you need
Hmm.
to do a double close or so, and you need some money, short-term money. What's short-term money? A day or less, you know. We have that. You must have both contracts. Buyer must already be lined up, title
Hmm.
done, etc. And you could go to flashclosing.com to learn more about that.
Yeah, 100%. That's so about it on with basically you get a contract and you got it already on contract with the seller. You don't want to not have a buyer and say, "Hey, I'm gonna double close," because I mean, who gonna lend money on that? You know what I mean? They basically gonna lose the money or own the house, one of the two, and that don't be their intentions. You know, what's
Correct.
your community? As what are you teaching inside of there? What's the things that they can tap into with the education you have already?
All right, so I got a course, I got a community, but with the community is just based on wholesaling for people who just want to get into wholesaling. And I have a 12-month mentorship. The 12-month mentorship goes in detail wholesaling, goes in detail wholesaling land, goes in detail with um, investing in real estate with your retirement account, renting out houses, and I'm sorry, renting out rooms in your house. I got a detailed course about that. I got a detailed course about buying rentals because with my whole thing, I don't want just a bunch of great wholesalers, you know. In
Right.
no way, shape, or form, I never was the biggest wholesaler. People might position me like that, but I'm a real estate investor. The most
Mm-hmm.
important piece about real estate is owning real estate. Don't be one of these guys. Yeah, you wholesale, $10 million in real estate the last, 4 or 5 years, but you own zero.
Mm-hmm.
When you wholesaling, when you flipping, when you build it, you're only as good as your last deal. So
Mm-hmm.
you always want to buy a property. You always want to become the investor. There's two people in the stock exchange. There are your buy and hold investors, and then you have your builders. Okay, there's no flippers on there. There's no wholesalers. All right, so you definitely want to position yourself to own real estate.
Mm-hmm. That's where the wealth come in at, 100%. Like you can hold something for well, with our market, like the Charlotte, the Metro, the Statesville, and all certain areas, it's gonna appreciate, and that's where you get that money from. Like in 5 7 years, one thing that created a wealth gap, for those who don't understand that thing too, was the housing market. And how it would
Yes.
happen is right. So if you want to emulate that, if you got now that we had the opportunity to get involved, so um, is that something that you kind of seen early on? Like, yes, that's definitely a play. This is the way to get in, like with the fix and flip, what the guy done. But when you got into wholesale, say this that quick check, but again, you can get that check and you can spend it, taxes hit it, but you got something to hold. It's gonna just compound. Is that kind of how you seen it?
Okay, yes. So fortunately, I had some good mentors that I listened to. There was one national mentor when I first got started that I followed, which was Sean Terry. Sean Terry is an OG in the game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just one national guy. Today, I got 150 guys that I got to choose from. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
probably 1,050. But it was one national guy, and I had local mentors. My local mentors, thank God, will push ownership, owning property. the people that I wanted to be at, and that's I always knew that. And as I learned, because and w- there was two sub was in high school I had a 1.8 GPA, and being that I had a 1.8 GPA, bro, it was one subject I loved, and it came with ease.
Mm-hmm.
Business, and it was that was in high school, but African American studies, African American studies. And the reason being, my mother was a teacher, so therefore she would instill education into us, and taking us to these were dragging us at the time to these African American museums, exhibits, African American history. I say dragging because I'm a kid, I just want to play. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Now I love it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's stuck with me, and it motivates me to do well. But um, college, in undergrad, I never passed a collegiate business class. Never, as crazy as that may sound. Now I got a 7-figure net worth, so go figure. But I never passed
Yeah.
a collegiate. I had to actually change my major because I couldn't get it. But African American studies was something I always came. I would always do well in that class, right? But I've learned because with the school system doesn't do a good job. Like I didn't know, like one generation up, my parents, one generation up, that they had oh god, that they could not own a property until 1968. All right,
Mm.
that was the second set of civil rights. First set of civil rights was 64. And that didn't include everything. The second set was 68. 68, the reason why we got that MLK was assassinated, and then once MLK was assassinated, um, we burnt this thing down, burnt, black people and white people and a few other minorities that participated in the movement started burning this country down. Then the country said, all right, listen, we're gonna readjust civil rights. I can buy property, whatever, but black people in this country never got anything without a fight. And that's one
Mm.
thing I learned about studying that history. We never got nothing without a fight. We never got nothing with just knocking on the door and saying, hey, listen, um, I'm a good worker. I'm a good person. We never got any of that, all right, without a fight. So we'll always be fighting. And the people that ain't willing to fight, they ain't not gonna want to do anything. And that's just general in success. You know, if you
Mm-hmm.
want more, you gotta do more. You
Mm-hmm.
just can't sit back and say, oh, I want this, I want that, and you ain't willing to work, man,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gonna have nothing. So I'm willing to do the work. But that that pretty much stamped the importance of owning, because at one point people in this country looked like me, they couldn't own.
Mm-hmm. A
So
million percent.
yeah,
And that was my vision. As you know, as a kid coming from where I come from was um the projects. You know what I mean? So we didn't have what, and I always say, hey, I know what I wanted at the end of the day. But again, it's those who are at the front door and those that's like, hey, this is how to move within it. And so you see a lot of people get trapped up, and then some don't make it. It's either dead or just incarcerated forever at the end of the day. So when you had an opportunity to be like that beacon, I think that's just a responsibility, and everything beforehand is just a part of your search. You know, it's kind of like what I always say is it ain't how you begin, it's how you end, and everybody has these different walks that you can extract from. You know, like when you think of your journey from where you started to whether like college until now, none of the college stuff do you actually use today is in
no,
real estate. You know what I
no,
mean? None of it. It's just hey, that was a part of the search. Then it was, jobs that you were probably a part of too. That now you are employing other people. So and being that beacon, it's so important for me to understand that. Like, don't be the type to just sit on your hands, 100%, and don't worry about where you at right now. Just have conviction. If you can't see it, it's impossible to attain it. You know, and having examples. So I love that, man. I like to hear people story and that history part of to let people know wherever you at, just get to it. That's just always my motto on anything I'm saying. I ain't about to talk about no problems, none of that. Let's figure out the solution, you know, and let's push forward on it. So real estate, man, has been awesome. 100%. Everything that I'm doing right now, even from this podcast, stem from a real estate, right? Talking to you and everybody that's come forward is part of this journey. That's why I want to highlight individuals like yourself to let them see the story. Because I have a break at some point where it's just me, and I just explain each person's real in depth where y'all was at and how I was, came a part of that. So man, I appreciate the time. I know we always trying to coordinate, and you be I can hear you. I be laughing, bro. I be laughing. I be looking at some of your texts. Though I'll be honest. I say, boy, he over there like, hold up, Chad guy is all over the place. You know what I mean? But yeah, but where you so in terms you got the wealth. You definitely at the where you at right now. Where you see yourself? Like what's the end thing for you? What's the thing like? Okay, I can relax, or is that even a thing? For you?
Yeah, man. So my whole thing is, I mean, I'm still healthy. I'm still going. I'm still on the younger side. Still got energy, but I'm just right now. I'm just like, hey, I want to get more into development. So that's why you see me doing more
Yes.
building, etc. Get more into development. Um, I'm gonna grow out the wholesaling company, whatever. Yeah, because I just can't see myself never stop wholesaling. It's just too easy. Like you can literally create 10 and 15 and $20,000 out of thin air. This is too easy.
Yeah. 100%. Like 1,000,000%. And it's surreal when you think about that. That's what drew me to it. When that guy said, "Yeah, this is a $10,000 check you about to receive," I froze. Like, oh, okay. And that's how we getting in the game. So anybody that's listening, man, understand where Nas, where his history. That's why I wanted to really let y'all hear a part of his history. He have a strong when it comes to like Black history that he's like a part of. Like his family was right there. That's important. Representation is huge to me. And now you see what he doing. I'm pretty sure if you see me, like I see Marcella say he pops up on his Instagram all the time, like you gonna see him because he always posting and showing exactly what he doing. You know. So what it on Instagram is real estate Doru, right?
That is correct. Real estate Doru. That's Doru.
And you went through a whole phase with that one time. Somebody tried to steal the name. What was that?
Somebody not only tried to steal my name, bro. Like if you Google my real name, Nasir Al-Arabi, or you Google real estate Doru, you're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff of me. Um,
Yeah.
Guy tried to come along and trademark my name.
Wow.
Yeah,
And it was already in use.
he just gonna take it. Of course, somebody not from the community, of course. Usual suspects where you make it hot and then they try to take it. And my boy Eric, shout out Eric from Flip This Real Estate List. Flip this real
Mm.
estate list.com. My boy, he was like, yo, bro. He was like, man, he told me years ago. He said, bro, you need to trademark that, bro. It's hot. But I wasn't gonna do nothing with it, man. So I'm like, man, whatever. So um, man, back in 2020, somebody tried to take it and trademark it. Fortunately, somebody tagged me in a post, and I'm like, yo, this dude taking my whole name. So of course,
Mm-hmm.
he delete my comment and inbox me a lot. I said, show me this trademark paperwork. So I had to get an attorney. And being that I got an attorney, and this guy was not that smart at all, um, he tried to file his own paperwork. His paperwork was wrong.
Mm.
I got an attorney to file it, so we didn't have to go to court to fight. That was going to be the situation. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But they rejected his. He had 6 months to correct the paperwork. You get 6 months to correct the paperwork. She was just like, listen, I seen this before. He tried to do his own paperwork. They sent him a letter saying that it's incorrect and we need you to change one, two, three, and more clarification. And people don't do it because they don't know what to do or how to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So she said, yo, don't talk about this online with nobody. Don't discuss this. And watch you, we just gonna see what happens. And if he does correct the paperwork, then we gonna challenge him and then we're gonna have to start fighting. I said, all right, cool. And I listen to advice. People was acting like, yo, what's up with the situation? What's your name? What's up with that? Because a lot of time was going by. I was like, yo, I got an attorney involved. Can't really speak. Just telling people that. 6 months went by. He didn't respond. The dude at the trademark office said, all right, well, this guy didn't respond to us, so we just gonna push, your guys' stuff through. And that's how I got it. So I trademarked not only the name real estate guru, my tagline too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a guru. I'm a duru because I actually do this business. I own that as well. So yeah, bro.
That's freaking amazing. I didn't even know that part of it. I just seen you post like, yeah, they tried to get me, and you posted, you showing the certifications, but that's a blessing because dude was. So I trademarked this, that, and the third, right? And the reason being because there's a whole other side of what's gonna come with this too, and it's to highlight what we normally say all the time, this, that, and the third. Like it
Always.
just means right. We just say the thing that highlights we doing multiple things, right? So that's what it's bringing on people in different industries, whatever that show. Like it's more than one way to get to it out here, basically. And that's what I learned through the process talking to the trademark attorneys that you send back those rebuttals, things you got to fix because you got a number wrong or something like that, and he'll tell me. So that was crazy. That's dope. He messed that up because he did tell me too before I even like they approved it to actually put it to use. So now when somebody come in, you was already using it too. It's a wonder that didn't bring that up. I guess because he already filed that joint.
He already filed it,
Yeah.
but he did it himself, thank God.
Right. Right.
He did it himself. So, and I know guys that they too smart. You can't tell them nothing. So being
Yeah.
that they too smart, you can't. Oh, no, I got this. I got this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he was one of them dudes. And
Right.
check this out. The add on. Now I got all right. This started in 2020. I got my joint probably the December of 2021. I
Mm-hmm.
got ownership. Okay. It ended like December of 2021. I got ownership, but it started in 2020. And he was still using my name, bro. I had to go, then I had this year, I had to go get an attorney and to serve him. And
Mm.
got the attorney, they served him. And when they served him, they served the social media company.
Yeah.
So TikTok and YouTube was like, yo, you gotta change your name. Somebody own this.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
after that,
crazy.
he tried to BS my attorney, but my attorney was like, all right, just send the proof. He tried to BS her, then he tried to go back and refile for the name. He still
Mm.
not knowing I own it. So
Right.
then he finally just changed his name. You know what I mean? Finally, just before I had to, pursue it with going to court. You know what I mean? And actually going after for financial damages because he was paying influencers for marketing himself with my name. And I don't want nobody to get confused that I'm this big out of shape dude. You know what I mean? Who
Yeah.
who, who ain't from the culture? Nah, bro, I ain't me, bro. I'm from the culture, bro. He ain't, man. He don't talk like this.
Right. Right. That's crazy, man. That's man. That's so dope. You got it though, cause been that he just made that glitch, cause that would have been crazy. Everybody know you is that. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
Everybody.
And they were telling him that. And he tried to say, oh, I ain't know you was using his name.
Right.
Man, you fat Phasian
Yeah.
lie, bro. Yo, bro.
Right. Cause don't anybody like if you say I don't even say like I'm a Duru, or if I say Duru, I'm saying Duru. Like I'm talking about you. You know what I mean? They don't anybody use that unless it's coming towards you. That's crazy.
That's yeah. But here's the thing: I don't mind people using it, but when you try to take something that I invented, right, and
Right,
then
right,
try to go capitalize off of it, I got
right,
to oh, how you trademarking? I don't trade. You know what I mean? That's where the problem arises. I didn't mind people using it. Now, obviously, I got the education, I'm making money, etc. From my name, and like you said, people were the Doodle, out there in Charlotte, out there, yeah, Doodle in Charlotte. You know
right.
what I mean? bro, I'll be vacationing to different places. Doru, Doru, you know what I mean? Like people know me as that, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I don't, bro, I don't want them to think that I am that guy. That guy is a trick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah.
him.
He right, yeah, yeah. He tried to just get some money, get that funnel going based off
Man,
of
that's
it.
all. He just wanted to be cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
he wanted
hundred
me to
percent.
be his daddy.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, bro, I appreciate you, man. It's always a pleasure. I don't get to chop it up with you like that. I know the last time we ain't been able to even meet, but I definitely I wanna do something with you, man. I wanna figure that out, like some time that we
Figure
off
it
this
out,
Zoom.
bro. And let's see what we can do, brother.
Yeah, I got to get down there and we'll sit down and something like some. I text you or sometimes, but in this today's climate, man, I'm gonna close this out with, and I always have well, someone to end on a positive or some type of motivational thing for the people, give them something. And I want to really highlight like the importance of everything you said. Nothing that hit within your story was a handout. You know what I mean? It wasn't a thing like, oh, this institution or this people is over this thing and it's how I make money. It was your independent efforts, man. Like, so with all this stuff that's going on with, disappointment with whoever side with this election stuff, take that from the story. That's so fitting that you came on after this election and all of that stuff, man, to hear that. This ain't come you come from a Republican as well as a Democrat president and you still doing the same thing. Super
Right,
important, man.
right.
Everybody understand that 100%. You want to give them something for at least some a motivational job or whatever word to
Absolutely. Yeah,
close
yeah,
them
yeah,
out.
yeah. Hey, listen, Marcella, Sutin, appreciate you looking in. Paul Rodriguez, appreciate you checking and tapping in and commenting. But yeah, as far as the motivational thing, man, I just, want you guys to know, man, follow one course until successful. Focus. Follow one course until successful. I know right now you guys, you have all this social media, but you know, people don't know they want to be an influencer, a barber, a stylist, an Amazon drop shipper, um, or what's the other thing? Trading forex or or wholesale. What I want you to do, I just want you to focus, man. Follow one course until successful, and fail forward. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're new. You don't know. It's common. This is not the corporate world. All right, this ain't the corporate world. Whereas you're penalized for asking questions. It's not school. People gonna look at you. You're stupid for asking questions. No, this is your life and your future. So focus on it. Follow one course until successful. Get out there and jump off the building. Sometimes you just
Hmm.
got to grow the wings on the way down. You know what I mean? Especially if you're young. Don't just waste your 20s out there partying. I'm 41. And me and my man, my social circle, we had this conversation. It's a group of us. We all went to high school together, and we family by choice. And we talk about it, man. Some people are just jacked up right now because they just had too much fun. They
Mm.
didn't know when to end the fun, and now they 40 plus. They're at the end of their 30s. They ain't got nothing to show for it, nothing going on, no motion at all, and just letting life whoop on them. Life gonna whoop on everybody. You don't gotta stay down and take it. So I want to leave you with that, man.
Man, that's it. That's the summary, man. I appreciate you. This episode 3, man. Appreciate you tapping in, Nas, man. 100%. You're doing a ton for not only the culture but for everybody in this industry. 100%. Appreciate you, my dude.
All right, no doubt, bro. Thanks for having me, Chad. And
Uh,
yeah, we'll figure it out one day. We'll
yeah,
finally. I
yeah,
know we be missing each other, but all right, we'll
yeah.
figure
We're
it
gonna
out.
line it up for sure, man. I want to do something big, something. I touch. We'll talk about it offline though, for sure.
All right, no doubt, bro.
All right,
Peace.
man. Yeah.